So this is your Great Glutes pack. You can see it's in a nice mesh bag to keep everything together so that you don't lose it. And in the pack, if we open it up, you're going to have your 2 sliders. I'll pass those to you, Luke. And then 3 bands, all of different resistance. So your easiest one is your blue band, or purpley band, it's blue. The next one is your orange band, and then after that, super strong, this is your ultimate goal, is your grey band. So what you can see from these bands is that they're all the same thickness, they're all the same length, and they're all from a fabric material. So I'm going to pass you to Luke, and Luke, you can talk to me about, or talk to everyone about what all this means and why we picked these bands and these lengths, etc.
All right. So this, I mean, over the years, I went through literally thousands and thousands of bands with our patients. It started off with just the TheraBand pieces, doubled and wrapped around, that split and tear, and then we went to more thick rubber ones that rip your hairs out. All sorts of different bands, and what you often see with these glute bands that are made of fabric is that they're all variable lengths and variable thicknesses, and the problem with that from an exercise perspective is that it constantly changes the tension, and where you're starting your exercise from changes band to band depending on which one you use. And so the exciting thing about, well, the reason we created these ones is because they address those major problems. They're super resilient. There's a little rubber seam on the inside so they don't slip too much on your skin at all, and the length is really, really important. The fact that they're all the same length means that your starting point when you start any of your exercises in the Great Glutes bands is the same. So they feel sometimes, if you're a bigger person, to be quite snug in terms of the circumference when you put them on, but that's what we want. Because then, no matter what your range of motion, no matter what positions you can or can't get into, you're going to be able to create tension on the band straight away so that you're working consistently with time under tension, which is a really important part of getting the most out of your glute activation with these exercise bands. The light band, or the blue band, is going to be your starting point for most people that have any level of discomfort or haven't been a regular exerciser. The Great Glutes blue band is going to be your best starting point. I pretty much recommend everybody start there anyway, just to see how it goes and get used to the movements you're completing with the bands, and then progress on from there. Orange band or medium band is a bit of a step up, but because you're working, your glutes are a very, very strong muscle group, you know, and most of the time glute exercises that people do, they're just not enough tension. They're not working them hard enough to really carry over into day-to-day life. So these are specifically stronger so that you really get to the glute muscles and carries over into day-to-day life. So medium band tension, most people will be able to progress up to this within a sort of 4 to 6 week time frame if this is your starting point. If you're a regular exerciser already, this would probably be your starting point if you already go to the gym and so forth. Then the strongest band, the grey band, this one is great. It's an end goal for a lot of people. Some people with chronic conditions like osteoarthritis, they won't ever get to this level, and it doesn't really matter. But you can always give it a go, and you won't hurt yourself doing it because the range that you're going to get out of it is pretty limited. So you'll just push against what feels like no resistance. Now, for those of you, I've been using the orange and the grey for variable exercise. I've been doing glute activation exercise for a long, long time. And the best thing about this is it limits your range for stepping too far out of position. Something really simple like a crab walk, which so many people have done, you get really poor execution of that because people can step so far and their foot gets so far out of their knee, outside their knee, and the wheels start to fall off with control. The grey band, you can't get that far. So you're not going to be able to step too far. That's it. So this will be your starting point, simple activation exercises. This one, progression band, for those of you getting stronger and stronger. And then if you are playing recreational sport, if you're looking to really increase your strength, then your Great Glutes grey band is going to be the go. I don't recommend pre-exercise, so just as a warm-up. You probably don't need the grey band. Just to get the muscles firing, start with your orange or blue. Now, sliders. Now these, most people love to hate these. They are a fantastic tool for home exercise because you can do so much with your glutes and your hamstrings and your whole body, really. You can do a whole body workout because you can do shoulder work on them. Now, something I recommend for people is if you have floorboards at home, to flip them over and use the padded side down so that it won't mark the boards at all if you have any concerns about that. If you carpet it or vinyl or anything like that, then just use the shiny underside and they'll slide nicely. Now, these ones, you really will do most of your work with these as a progression from your activation work with your bands. So it helps you transition into bigger and bigger movements, and also for isolating your hamstrings a little bit more is really valuable in that process. So
enjoy.
Yeah.